Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and warmly welcome to my presentation on how innovations can be achieved and sustained both at the micro and micro levels, which is part of the competition for postdoctoral job positions at the University of Hradec. My name is Samuel Amponsah Odei from the Department of Economics. In this section, I will provide you with a general overview of the grants project implemented since 2024 till today. And this focuses on how multi-level perspective could be incorporated in the innovation process. Innovation, as we know, has become a household name because of its importance and its ability to promote competitiveness, increase revenue, as well as productivity for firms. Due to its importance, over the decades, several research has been undertaken on the topic. In spite of the growing topic broadening our understanding of innovations, they still display some caveats that limits the complete understanding of the topic. For instance, most of this research has increasingly focused on analyzing innovations from the perspective of internal capabilities, where factors such as managerial experience, engaging in R&D, innovation collaboration, human capital development, access to funding has received enough scholarly attention. However, this project argues that firms are embedded in the business environment, and whatever happens in the business environment has repercussions on firms' operations, including their ability to innovate. So ignoring innovation or limiting innovations to just internal capabilities, we believe that limits the complete understanding of the innovation projects. And we argue that the effectiveness of innovation is conditioned by the broader national institutional context or environment where firms are embedded in. For instance, issues such as fiscal policies, bureaucratic burden, security threats are all surrounded in the business environment, and they could also impact how firms operate. And we argue that to have a complete understanding of innovation, there should be a blend of micro factors as well as micro factors, and how these factors interact to be able to impact the way firms achieve and sustain their innovation. So based on this description, the aim therefore of this research is to basically advance a multi-level understanding of firms' innovation, where we seek to analyze or examine how micro-level factors interact with macro-level factors that are embedded in the business environment. We also seek to identify the interactive effects between micro factors and the macro level factors, and how they combine in the business environment to impact innovations, which could be product, process, technological, and etc. And we also seek to identify the main contextual dependencies of innovation strategies, meaning that we will be able to ascertain the various macro level factors that interact to either boost or constrain innovation at the firm level. To be able to fulfill these research aims, the broader research question proposed in this project is to analyze how do macro level institutional conditions moderate the relationship between firms' internal capabilities and innovation outcomes. Because of the multi-level approach of this project, the project has chosen to use the multi-level models as well as theories that seeks to blend both micro level and the macro level and how each level influences the other to have an overall impact on how firms innovate and sustain these innovation efforts. Some preliminary results so far achieved by the project include a paper currently submitted to the Research Policy Journal, which is under review, and which was basically aimed at assessing how macro level factors such as security threats and bureaucratic burdens impact how firms achieve product innovations, and how this combination goes on to affect overall firms' performance. And the results shows that process innovations positively enhances firms' performance, and the effectiveness of this is, however, weakened by high levels of security threats in the business environment, as well as the bureaucratic burden. And there is also the negative moderation effect are stronger. That is when we consider the heterogeneity of firms. This moderating effect is stronger for firms in the low institutional quality environment, as well as the domestic firms. But firms such as foreign-owned ones and the state-owned firms are least affected by these institutional conditions. Surprisingly, we found that security threat and bureaucratic burden in the business environment rather has a positive effect on the firms' performance, especially domestic firms. For the second paper, which is submitted to the Journal of Management Studies, we also sought to analyze how social disorder in the form of crimes, theft in the business environment affect firms' operations and how they are able to innovate. We also considered this effect from the heterogeneity point of view, where we considered this relationship from the point of firm size, sectorial composition, and the export orientations of firms. And the result shows that disorder, although has a negative connotation, significantly and positively influences product innovation, and this is across all firms' sizes. But we also found that factors such as the effectiveness of the judicial systems, however, weakens the positive effect of social disorder on product innovations, and this is valid for firms in the manufacturing sector, medium and large firms, and also non-exporting firms. We also found that technological infrastructure, however, does not improve the effectiveness of social disorder on product innovation, and this was valid across all firms subgroups that were considered in the analysis. So far, some output has been achieved by the project. Since 2024, the project has been able to publish 16 papers, whilst 2 journal papers have been accepted, as well as a conference paper. And currently, there are over 10 papers under review. But because of space and time, I will not be able to list all these papers that are published, but I have randomly selected 4 of them, which are published in the Journal of Technological Forecasting and Social Change with an impact factor of 13.3. There is a paper also published in the Journal of Cleaner Production with an impact factor of 10. And also a paper is published in the International Journal of Innovation Studies with an impact factor of 5.3. And also there is a paper published in the Sustainable Futures Journal, which has an impact factor of 4. For a detailed list of all the papers that are published, please visit the researcher's Google Scholar profile or Scopus or Web of Science profile. And other outputs besides these tangible ones are also the researcher delivered a lecture at the just ended Herodes Economic Days, where I delivered on the topic how to get published in high impact factor journal. There are also upcoming conferences where the researcher will be participating, and the first is the 26th European Conference on Knowledge Management, which will take place at Lahti, Finland, somewhere in September. And the researcher will also deliver a keynote speech at the 3rd Southern Africa Regional Science Association Annual Conference, which will take place in Cape Town, South Africa, between the 10th and the 12th of September 2025. As part of the project, the researcher has been able to collaborate with many people from different walks of life. And I will begin with some internal collaborations at the Department of Economics and the Faculty of Informatics and Management. And I've been able to collaborate with about 6 people from these departments. And notable amongst them is Ivan Sukal, who happens to be my project supervisor. When it comes to other international collaborations, the researcher, as part of the project, has been able to collaborate with about 6 people from different countries across the world. And notable amongst them is Assistant Professor Lorenzo Adito from the Politecnico di Bari in Italy. He has written extensively on the topic of innovation, and he has a very nice profile which could be checked. And I will conclude the presentations with a brief acknowledgement, which I would want to say a very sincere thank you to my supervisor, in the person of Dr. Ivan Sukal, for his useful guidance, support, and constructive feedback throughout this project. He has been of immense help to me and the project team. I want to say that I am very grateful for the time and for the opportunity to work with you. I thank each and everyone for listening attentively to my presentation. Thank you.